you've probably seen there's been a lovely bit of banter. Well, firstly, each of those three fights that you named, the Joshua, the Ruiz, the Dillian Whyte, they're fights that we would love. They're exciting fights. They're fights that I think the boxing fans would like. And they're fights that would have a lot of interest. But I think you look at Andy. He's just signed with Eddie Renasso, which is a fantastic fit for Andy. I think that's a smart decision for him. But they're already talking about Kawanaki and Ariola and all the PBC fighters. So as much as that would be a great fight, and Andy has said yes, I want to fight Joseph Parker and I want to beat him up, and I think it might be a while before that fight happens. Joshua, well, we know that Anthony Joshua's got his hands full at the moment. He's got a fight coming up with Pulev. He's got, a mega fight coming up with Tyson Fury sometime next year. So for us to even think about getting the chance to share the ring with him, Joe would need some serious performances to warrant that. Dillian Whyte, well, we know Dillian's, if anyone deserves a world title shot, it's him. Like, he sat there patiently, and his team must be very, very frustrated. They must think, are we ever going to get a chance to fight for the strap? But then the flip side is, and he talks, no one wants to fight me, and people are going to pull out. And so there's been a nice bit of banter there between Joe and him for some time. We've made no secret of the fact that, there were a lot of things that didn't quite go our way in the Dillian Whyte fight, and we would love an opportunity to rectify that and to fix it. And look, it was an exciting fight. It was an interesting fight that had good following, good support, good pay-per-view buys. We would love to fight Dillian Whyte anywhere, anytime. But look, I'm also well aware of his position in the WBC, and he's like everyone else. He's in line. He's supposed to be getting an opportunity early in 2021 to finally fight for the belt, and now it looks like the fight between Wilder and Fury won't even happen until 2021. So, Dillian Whyte will be one of those guys that he'll be one of the big losers throughout this.
We spoke about fights behind closed doors and pay-per-view fights. Dillian Whyte versus Alexander Povetkin, we're told by Eddie at least that is going to happen behind closed doors. What do you make of that, and how do you see the fight going?
Look, I think it's a good fight for Dillian Whyte, but it would have to be a better Dillian Whyte than we saw than the guy that fought Maurice Wok. Because that guy was overweight and he was slow and he was off balance. But, a fight like Povetkin, even though he's in the twilight of his career, is an experienced guy, a guy that he's always in shape. Every time you see him enter the ring, he looks the same, just a little older. I think it's the perfect fight for Dillian Whyte, but a fight that he must come in shape.
Dillian Whyte's also had a few things to say about Andy Ruiz. We've mentioned both of their names in this, both obviously mutual opponents of Joseph Parker. How would you see that fight going if those two were to face off?
Well, I tell you what, and I can't, and I've had this conversation with Joe, and I've had it with my son Taylor, and I might be completely wrong, but my gut feeling in this fight, and I'm looking at Dillian Whyte saying, we offered you $5 million. No, you only offered me $4 million. Well, we're going to offer you $5 million. I would think that would be the last fight that Dillian Whyte would want. I'd pick Andy Ruiz to knock Dillian Whyte out. I think that Andy is too skilled, hits too hard, and would absolutely. I'd pick Andy to demolish Dillian Whyte. And I think that would be one of the last styles that he would want to be in the ring with at this time. But I might be wrong, Rob.
Not you, Kevin.